Welcome everyone to our April family meeting for the class of 2026. We are so close to being at June 5th, which is our students' last day of high school at the Great Blue High School. And I'm so excited for them. They have been really trying very hard to get all the things going and participate in all the things. And hopefully they are being the same angels they are at home as they are being at school. One of the greatest things about being the senior AP this year is seeing our kids go from being like the juniors slash sophomores that I got a chance to support when I got to the school to seeing them kind of like get into like being closer and closer to being young adults. But also them being like, oh, I gotta go to work, and knowing that they are getting closer and closer to being adults. As for the usual, I start every meeting with our Blue mission and vision. Our mission is to nurture students' growth in a safe, supportive, and inclusive environment. Our challenging, diverse, and engaging learning experiences inspire curiosity, builds confidence, and prepare students for success. Our vision is a school where strong relationships, technology, and open access to culturally relevant opportunities fuel our students' success. Our agenda for today is going to be really to the point. I'm going to go over some housekeeping things, prom, our senior lock-in that's coming up, our senior trip, and then senior week, graduation clearance information, and then graduation itself. In terms of housekeeping, things are pretty much routine as it relates to housekeeping. For your students, the same adage exists. One of the big things that I want us to be mindful of is we are getting closer and closer to the end. And with that, there are some things that are going to be coming that the team is not necessarily responsible for, but is coming from DCPS. Baloo is a part of DCPS, and not necessarily the things that we give you all, slash the things that we ask of our families are even coming from us. And as you all experience the next couple weeks, you're going to be receiving information that is not necessarily from us, but it is definitely going to be coming from us. And when I say that, I mean that in the way that we're going to be sending home letters to families as it relates to your students' graduation status. So some of our students had opportunity to really like hone in on the things that they were supposed to do, and they turned everything in on time, the way they were supposed to, and kind of execute on the things that they were asked to do. And then we had some students who kind of fell behind what they were asked to do, and in doing so, they kind of missed some of the deadlines. When you miss some of the deadlines, of course, that means that there were others who have other jobs that they're responsible for, and they are looking for us to have all those things in. And because we don't have that information in, we kind of get the ding, is what I affectionately call it, from DCPS. In the next coming weeks, maybe a week or two, we're going to be receiving correspondence from what looks to be like Baloo, but it is going to be in response to not having had all of our information in, meaning coming from our students and our families in on time for the powers that be. What does that mean, AP Bird? It means that if your student did not turn in their community service hours on time, then we are going to have a letter coming home that says that you didn't turn in your community service on time and your child is in danger of not graduating on time, slash they are not grad aligned and that they are in danger of not graduating. What do you mean my child's not going to graduate? It means that your child's not going to graduate if they don't have 100 hours of community service. It is a graduation requirement that your child has 100 community service hours. That is not a Baloo kind of like thing. That is a DCPS thing. So it's not something that like we're in control of. That is something that comes from above us. So we are going with what the requirements are for the District of Columbia. If there are things beyond us that we can't control, we are definitely here to let you know that, and we're here to support you. So if you find out, oh my gosh, my child doesn't have the hours, by all means, please contact me. I'm not going to ask you to contact anybody else. Please contact me directly so that I can support you, because I don't want you to feel like you're kind of in this alone and you didn't get the information and now you're confused and it's like, well, what's happening? And there's a whole bunch of like confusion around if your child's going to make it to June 11th and if they're going to Constitution Hall. I want you to know that none of that changes until we get closer and closer to the date. But I do want us to be aware that if your student doesn't have their information in, it can change, and it will change if they don't have their information in. So please be aware of their community service hours, and that they should have those in so that that information is in fact accurate. So if your student hasn't completed those things, then they are in fact in danger of not graduating. They have to have that in. So that's not a dig on anybody or, oh my gosh, we're not going to graduate, but it is kind of like an alert to let you know that you have to have your hours. So please make sure that you've spoken with your student, that you're having this conversation, because if they don't have their community service hours, they will not be permitted to graduate. It is going to be a portion of our graduation clearance that they have those things completed. So I don't know how else to say this and any other to make it any clearer. I had the conversation with students today via recording because I've been running, but it is a portion of their graduation requirement to have 100 community service hours. The next thing, they have to have a total of 24 Carnegie units. The Carnegie units must be in the corresponding areas. They can have 26 Carnegie units, but if they're not in the corresponding areas, they will not graduate. Again, this is something where students are kind of like, I thought I had 75 hours. You can have however many credit hours you would like to have, but if you don't have the hours in the places and spaces that are necessary, they will not graduate. Please let your students know to see Miss Sally Leroy to ensure that their particular credit hours are aligned with what they need to graduate. And if they have questions about that, they need to see Miss Sally Leroy so that they can ensure that they have what they need to graduate. This is going to be one of those down to the wire type things. And then we also have Mr. Larson, who is our pathways coordinator, who supports this work, but it is imperative that they have the correct classes in place to support them graduating on time. Anything outside of that will leave them in a space or place where they don't have what they need to graduate on time. So please make sure that you're following up with your students just to ensure that they have what's necessary to be successful. So graduation requires both the Carnegie unit hours and their community service. So those are our two really big housekeeping things as it relates to graduation and you receiving a letter upcoming. Attendance is also something that's really important. Every single day that we have school between now and June 5th counts. Your student must come to school. There are no exceptions to coming to school. I know I said something to them the other day about senior skip day. That's not a real thing, but I understand that we're seniors. If your child has 20 something days of school missed, please send them to school. They need every single class. Once your student FAs, there is nothing I can do about them failing a course. I can't make it enough. If your student misses school, please send them to school with an excuse note the next day. Our attendance counselor is Miss Walker, and our guidance counselor, our school professional counselor, excuse me, is Miss Tasha Sally Leroy. Their email addresses are on the screen. If you have an excuse note, please email Ms. Walker. If you have questions about your student's transcript, meaning their grades and or their community service hours, you're going to reach out to Ms. Sally Leroy. Our senior dues. Every student who is graduating from Ballou High School has a $175 balance. That is a graduation required cost. It comes with their cap and gown, their diploma cover, their class t-shirt, and their class gift and class pin. All students graduating from Ballou pay $175. They only get those things? Absolutely not. They get all the things that we've been doing every single month. They get the things that we'll do in June. All of that comes with a part of being a senior at the school. So yes, those items are what are listed as what is a part of our little menu, but I assure you that we spend and spend and spend on our seniors and absolutely enjoy spending and spending and spending on our seniors, but it does come at a cost. So all of our seniors have a portion of this or a fraction of this is paid through their senior dues. $175 is the base price for all of our graduating seniors. There are optional items that seniors are also able to purchase, like the yearbook or the senior cookout that comes in June, or prom that is coming up in May, or the senior brunch that is already passed, but or our capping ceremony dinner that will also come in June. Those are optional items. The area where it says additional graduate options, Ballou High School does not offer those things, and you have to find those items independent of the school. All the prices have increased by $50 because we are beyond April 1st. Students who wish to purchase those things should bring cash only, and they are to be purchased through Ms. Talavera, who is located in our main office. All right. Finally, on to fun stuff. Prom. Prom is here. Prom is in about 2.5 weeks, give or take, or 2 weeks. It is on May 15th. Can you believe it's already here? Our prom theme is the premiere Midnight in the Oasis. This is going to be something to really look forward to, seeing our kids all dressed up, looking nice. I think right now we're at like approximately like 120 kids are supposed to be there. This is going to be a night to see. I can't wait to see them looking really nice. So I'm looking forward to this. And they all have to fill out a permission slip. Please implore your students to be dressed appropriately. So for our young ladies who are getting these beautiful gowns made, we're going to ask that the gowns not have any of their birthday suit exposed. So we're going to kind of save those things for maybe another time where they expose parts of their birthday suit. I think those things are wonderful, but this won't be the time or place or space to have those things exposed. We're going to try and make this as classy as possible and kind of stick within the theme. And I don't think that that would be appropriate in this space or place. And for our young men, to also be really dressed nice and come to prom dressed like gentlemen. In terms of getting our guests, if we would like to have outside guests, they also have to have a permission slip or permission form completed. Our POC for prom is Ms. Hill. Her information is on the screen. The last day to purchase a prom ticket for a student who did not purchase a gold package or a prom guest is next week on Friday, May 1st. The cost of tickets right now is $170. So please make sure you see Ms. Talavera to get a prom ticket and the prom permission form. Seniors who have gold packages, you can pick up your permission form and your ticket from Ms. Talavera. She has both items in the main office. Prom court. So we always have to have a king and queen. Ms. Hill has our documents. The forms just went out today during school, but of course you can always continue to pick them up. So why watch the moment when you can be the moment? Our prom king and queen court information has gone out to students, and students are able to pick up the information and get the application from Ms. Hill. Her classroom in the building is 2017. So you don't have to be the loudest, just bold enough to try. So students will be able to vote for prom king or queen on the night of prom. So we have some really cool ways for students to vote for who they will select as their prom king and queen the night of, and we will announce it during prom. All right, we back at it. We made it to spring break. I'm assuming that we are collectively back on track and we are ready to be respectful to both the staff and ourselves. So we are going to try this one more time and have off-campus lunch. Students who are in the green are able to have off-campus lunch. Permission slips and forms will be prepared for students who are in the green, meaning that they have passed their term 3 classes and they are on track for graduation, meaning that they have their 100 community service hours and they have passed their courses for term 3. They will have the opportunity to have off-campus lunch as we move forward. So those students will have the slips prepared and I will have them in my office on Monday, April 27th. And I'm super excited. And parents, this is going to probably be one of the hardest things, but we are going to stay overnight at the school on Tuesday, May 26th. It is our lock-in and senior sunrise. We're going to do our culminating event for the 2K26 era of having our events. So this is some of the things that we kind of like contribute to without some of those grad funds that we're paying these senior dues with. So we are staying overnight, crossing our fingers that I make it all night in this building. But we're going to spend the night at Baloo and we are going to open the doors back up. So school will let out at 3:30. We'll open the doors back up at 6:26. The doors will close to students who are spending the night overnight at 7:36. We will do our lock-in activities, have a really good time, and then we'll rise together. And then students who are going on the senior trip, we will leave from the building on Tuesday, May 27th, headed to our adventure in New Jersey. And then we will be back on the 28th. And then students who are not going to the trip will be allowed to either stay for the day and execute school as usual. And those who wish to go home and get refreshed and come on back, they will also be permitted to do so. But that will be our plan, is to have our senior lock-in on Tuesday, May 26th. All right, our senior trip. The last day to pay is May 1st. So if your student has not completed paying for their package, May 1st is the deadline. I only extended it because I opened up a second bus just so that more students could come because I think we're going to have a really good time at the Six Flags. But if I have to close my second bus, I'll close my second bus and figure out how I'm going to make the numbers work, but I wanted to open it up to as many seniors as possible. So if we have enough seniors, then I'll fill the second bus. If not, I'll figure it out. But I wanted to make sure that everybody was welcome to come. The cost was $250. It is still $250. The first day we are going to the American Dream Mall. We'll stay overnight closer to the Six Flags in New Jersey. Following that, we'll head back to the school on the evening of May 28th, and then we'll be back and ready to go on the 29th. Graduation. Yesterday, I did our walkthrough at Dar Constitution Hall. And parents, when I tell you this is going to be the event, this is going to be the event. We only have a very brief time to be at Dar Constitution Hall because they told us it's going to be an exact hour for graduation. So our graduation is at 12 p.m. But the doors will open at 11:30. Please be there a little bit early so that you are there at 11:30. So when the doors do open, you're able to walk into the Dar Constitution Hall and you're able to like find your seat and kind of get settled because they are going to close the doors about 10 minutes before 12 so that the seniors can get organized so that they can do their procession in. This will be a situation where there are only 10 tickets per graduate. If there are graduates who don't need as many tickets, or there are graduates who, need some extra tickets, that is going to be a amongst yourselves situation. DCPS is printing the tickets, so I don't have an exact date as of yet when I will receive the tickets. My graduation plan is due next week on Thursday. So once I turn in the plan, I'm assuming they will give me my date for which they will give me my programs, they will give me my tickets and everything else. So I will have that information and I will provide that to you as soon as they give it to me. In terms of graduation clearance, that we will have a clearance form and we will have graduation rehearsals. And on May 22nd, I will have more information around our senior week and all things for June so that you all have a better and clearer picture of what we will have planned for the month of June. All right, with that, I'm going to open it up for questions specific to the information I've shared just in this time. And then following that, I will close out this portion of the meeting and then I'll open it up for questions that are general to maybe something that I did not mention in this first portion of the conversation.
Can we just come off mute?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm Sante Snowden's mom. I believe that she had one community service hour that she was missing. Is it possible? So she's in a different program right now. Can I email Miss Sally Leroy?
Hey, Mom,
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
straight. She don't need anything.
She's
She's good.
good.
She did it to me, and I entered it.
Okay.
Yeah, she forwarded it to me. She's
Okay.
fine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm gonna make sure to close out. Our next meeting will be in person on Friday, May 22nd. I'll take some consensus if 5 p.m. is a good time or if I need to push it back a little bit. But my latest start time will probably be 5:30 in terms of like allowing people to kind of like get to Baloo and kind of like get a start time. Um, so, please put something in the chat if we need to push the time back a bit for folks to kind of like get off from work and get over to the school. Otherwise, I'll keep it at 5 o'clock. We'll have an in-person meeting on May 22nd. It is a Friday. It will be our last family meeting prior to graduation. And I'll have more information around graduation tickets and how we'll close out. And then in terms of all the things, our calendar is where you'll find the information. There is a link in the Instagram page, and June is what our goal is. It is our mission. We are almost there, families. If you are not following us, please make sure that you follow us on Instagram. I assure you, I put tons of information. As you're following us, I am reposting things. So I'm reposting scholarships. I'm reposting information around your FAFSAs. I'm reposting information around colleges, careers, everything that I see. I'm reposting so that you can provide that information to your students. Students who may be on the call, I'm reposting it for you all as well. So it's not just like random stuff that I'm like liking on the internet. It's stuff specific to make sure that we're prepared and we're ready to kind of like execute the next steps. So with that, I am going to stop our recording, but I am going to remain on the call so that I can answer any other questions that we may be having.